All right, so you've started your marketing agency and you're into the weeds now, and then you get this gut feeling. You're like, oh crap, I have a bucket ton to learn, and I really don't know if I should be learning it all, or whether I should be hiring it, or whether it's pain avoidance, or whatever. That's why today I decided to answer this question that was asked in our school group. And I think it's super pertinent to a lot of you out there, because there's a lot of you out there that are feeling the same way. And how do I know this? Well, for those who don't know who I am, my name is Jimmy. Everyone calls me Uncle Jimmy, and I help agency owners like yourself deliver incredible services to their clients so they can keep clients forever. And at this point, I've coached over 500 SMMA owners over in my role as service delivery coach over at EasyGrow. And this question has come out of our school group. You can learn more about that in the description below. It's completely free to join, so I'd highly recommend jumping in there, because from time to time I get questions like this, and it's really important to share my answer with the world. So for those who are just listening to this, let me run you through the questions. So basically, Ailb asks, fear of being good at everything or great at nothing. This one is mainly for Uncle Jimmy Mitchell or anyone who's gotten past the stage in business. So I'm at the point where I feel like I have a general knowledge of the things I need to know in business. I feel because I do everything in it, I'm not great at anything when it comes to the business, which I feel is a huge bottleneck. Mainly, I'm okay at designing, I'm decent at copywriting, I'm okay at media buying, I'm okay at landing pages, and I'm okay at managing budgets and finances. I think you get the point. But what if I hired someone who is great at designing, great at copywriting, great at media buying, and great at landing pages? You can't be a quarterback, running back, safety, lineman, and punter and go to the Super Bowl. Business is more like basketball and football than it is tennis. So my question I'm getting at is, as a business owner, to grow your business, do I need to be okay at doing the skills needed in the business and hire people who are great? And when is the point to do this? This is a fantastic question, like I said, and there's a lot of you out there that probably feel the same way. Because anyone that's followed my channel for an extended period of time knows that I preach learning the foundations and learning how to do things before you go and hire. And I want to explain why that is and why you really should be okay at everything before you go and hire people that are great. And I also want to share why I think one of the best strategies in the marketing space is to take people that have good, solid foundations and turn them into great people. Okay, so this is my question to you and anyone that is thinking of hiring their way out of learning how to do this stuff. How are you possibly going to find great talent if you can't talk the talk and walk the walk, right? Well, let's use the football analogy here. Some of the best coaches that have ever existed, like John Madden and Lombardi, have attracted the best talent because they are the best coaches. They are the best people to guide and teach and grow people. And there's people out there who want to be guided. Look, it really comes down to this. Great people require great leaders, right? And how do you become a great leader? Well, there's one or two ways, really. You either have to be really, really good at what you do and lead by example, or you have to be really, really good at leading people and inspiring people to be better. And those are the only two ways that you can really lead great people. You can lead people that aren't great by any means. You can crack the whip on them, you can just incentivize them, but truly great people, people that are really good at what they do, aren't necessarily driven by money because they know they can get money anywhere. What they want is to be challenged and they want to be inspired by someone that can make them better. So how do you become a great leader if it's not from being the best at one of these things? Because you're right. You can't as an agency owner or a business owner be the best at designing, at copywriting, and all the facets it takes to run an agency because, like you said, they are specialist roles. But why it's so important to learn how to do this stuff is so that you get an understanding of what the person that you're going to hire has to go through to get the job done, so you can provide value and insights from a perspective they don't have, right? So let's say, for instance, I was a really, really good media buyer and an absolute gun, right? And you are a business owner that's learned how to do it. You've done it a few times, but you're not the best at it. You have a completely different lens on life than I do as a media buyer, right? So as a media buyer, my core focus is only on getting the absolute best results, right? And that's a very narrow lens, but it's made me very good at what I do. You as a business owner have a completely different lens. You have a lens on how to run a business. You have a lens on how to maintain margins, how to deal with clients. And this media buyer could be looking for that lens and a way of communicating through media buying. But you got to remember that these specialists have aspirations too. Maybe one of them wants to start their agency one day. Maybe one of them wants to be a leader. Maybe one of them wants to be a freelancer and get their own clients at some point, right? Everyone has goals and aspirations. No one's goal is to just work for you forever, right? Like we all have aspirations that are bigger than that. So if we know that, then that's where you become a great leader to this person, because obviously you can't teach them anything about media buying. They're going to know more than you about it. But what you can use is media buying as a channel of connecting with this person because you're speaking the same language and providing advice and providing support and providing the infrastructure. So A, they can do their job amazingly well. And B, you can provide inspiration for their aspirations, right? So like, for instance, when we hire really good people, we try and find out what they want to achieve. And then as they're going about their day and doing their job, if I see anything that can help them further achieve their goals in the future, then I'll pull them aside and show them. So for instance, we had a website designer who was absolutely dead set on running an agency. So I said, okay, well, look, anytime anything interesting pops up, I'll just grab you and I can run you through it. And we had clients, and I remember very specifically, we had this one situation where the web designer could not get why the client was upset with some of the work he was doing. And I had to sit down and explain, this is the thing with running an agency, right? Is you have to set expectations with clients. When I spoke to this client, and I spoke to you first, I asked if we could do this, right? And you said that we could. So then I went to the client and set that expectation. The reason the client is upset is not because your work isn't good. It's because I set the expectation here because you told me that's what it was. And it clicked for him. He went, oh, I get it. I get it now. It's not because the work isn't good. It's because I told you we could do this and we couldn't. And I was like, yeah. So you see, you understand why they're upset. So like next time, one of the things I've learned as a business owner over time is to underestimate stuff and like to undersell what we do so that we can over deliver and really get those big smiles from the clients. He goes, oh, okay, next time I'll let you know that. Thank you for sharing that with me, right? That then cements your value to him as a great person who's doing a fantastic job that knows more than you, because you're providing insights and value from an angle that he wouldn't have been able to get by just hanging around other media buyers or working in a big company that has a media buyer manager and then a manager above them, and everyone's focus in the media buying department is just media buying, right? So that's by definition what makes you a great leader if you're not necessarily a great player. So, John Madden, for instance, right? Yeah, he was a solid player, but he only ever played college level, but he's one of the best coaches to ever exist in NFL because he's a great leader. He provides insight and value to his players, even though he's not the best quarterback in the world and he's never been the best quarterback. People respect what he says because he at least knows how to play the game. He was okay at it. And then he's got a layer of insights and a layer of knowledge that these players want that can make them the best version of themselves. So it's really important to understand the foundations, because without that channel and without you having been in the trenches, it's very hard for someone to believe that you can provide them value. As in one of these great A players, to be able to provide them value, right? You think about it. If I was selling you guys SMMA services and coaching on doing SMMA, do you think any of you guys would listen to me if I hadn't done it and been in the trenches? I'm not the best media buyer in the world. I acknowledge that. I'm not the best at sales, but I've just got a lot of experience and I've just got a lot of in the trench advice for you guys, which is super valuable. There is guys in our group that are way better at sales than I am, right? But what I have got is like how the sales connects to running an agency over a long period of time, which makes what I say to you guys valuable. Right now, if I didn't have any experience doing sales at all, you guys would be going, oh, well, do I really want to listen to Jimmy? Like how can he provide me any advice? Even if your advice is valuable, how am I going to take that advice on board if he hasn't been there and done that? So hopefully that answers your first question. It's perfectly okay to be okay at everything. Your job is not to be the expert in any one of these things, but you need to know a little about everything so that you can provide generalist advice that is respected by these A players. Now, this comes to my second point. Why are you focusing on hiring really great people? It is a very expensive strategy as a marketing agency to hire A team players, because not only are they just expensive from an hourly rate perspective, they also come with baggage, right? If you've been doing media buying for 10 years now, and all of a sudden you go and work in a business and they've got a different way of doing it, you're going to be like, with all due respect, I've been doing this a long time, I'm going to do it my way, which creates variability in your ability to scale. Because if that person has different processes, then you have to adapt to those processes. They may not be doing it the way you want it done. It creates a whole lot of heartache. Now, it can work really well, but you also are putting blind faith in someone's ability to get the job done, and you create a key man risk. If that person was to leave, what are you left with? You can't just take what they've been doing and learned over 10 years and replicate it if you don't have the core skills to be able to do that. So my strategy, and what's made me very successful in this space, is to find A players that don't know they're A players yet. And the way I do that is by hiring general VAs. So my hiring process when it comes to hiring general VAs is very person-based. It's like I'm trying to find the right person, right? Once I find the right person, then I teach them how to do the roles I want them to do in the way that I want it done, so that they have the baseline level, so they get to the point where they know as much as I do. From there, then I get them to develop their own strategies and work on top of the layer that I've built from a foundations perspective to get better than myself. Now, this has several benefits, and one of the main benefits is it's a way more cost-effective way of hiring. If you hire a general VA and then teach them what you know about media buying, it's a way more cost-effective way of getting the results you need, which is outcomes for your clients and happy clients. It also makes sure that the person that you hire doesn't learn any bad habits, and they learn it specifically the way you want to run your business, which is super important, right? Because if you're trying to scale this, you need repeatable processes, and you need ways to make sure that the things get done the way you want them to get done. So that's super important as well. And the third reason I like doing this is because if you take someone that doesn't know how to do something and you teach them, and you're a good leader and a great leader, and you teach them how to do things that they didn't know how to do before, they are going to be incredibly loyal to you because you gave them their break in the industry, right? A lot of these general VAs don't want to be general VAs forever. They want to specialize. They want to become the best media buyer out there. They want to become the best Google Ads person. They want to become the best salespeople. They just don't have a channel to be able to do that, or an avenue. And if you provide that for them based on your general knowledge, you can get them to the college level football by just your general knowledge. And then if they are really passionate about what they do, then they'll upskill and learn. And as you start to challenge them and start to push them, and as they get into more senior roles, they're going to develop and mature into that role. And they're probably going to get better outcomes than you ever would have, but the outcomes would be perfectly suited to your business. So I don't necessarily know if I would hire people with great skills. I would just hire great people in general, and then build them up into the people you need them to be. That would be my best single bit of advice for you in this situation. If you're in this and where you're like, okay, well, I know how to kind of do everything, I'm still trying to work out what my first hire is going to be, or where I'm going to find it, because I'm at my breaking point with how much work I need to do. Hire a general VA and teach them the core skills, and let them find their own path in your business. That is by far the most cost-effective strategy. You'll create loyalty, you'll create people that really know what they're doing, and you'll create people that perfectly fit your business and its requirements. So hopefully that answers your question if you've been thinking the same thing. This is a fantastic question, by the way, and I pull questions out of our group regularly if I need to elaborate on them a little bit more, and I think more people can get value if I answer them via a video. So if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel, because I do some pretty meaty topics from time to time. So if you're wanting to learn how to keep clients forever using service delivery, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and also make sure to join the free school group. It's linked in the description, and you'll get a ton of value from that group. It's one of the most active groups on school, and it's because everyone is really contributing. So guys, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.